Hiya.
Hey everyone, how are
Hiya.
you?
I thought I was going to have 5 minutes to put my face on. All right, transparent gloss it is then.
Can if you want.
No, it's just me. People know my
Fine,
face.
You are.
For once, I'm not in my pajamas.
I am.
Look at you.
I'm not.
Not yet.
I'm usually in my pajamas. You should do what Rosemary does. She has Zoom lipstick.
What is it, Zoom lipstick? Is it like a filter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah.
very handy if you're in a rush, but it doesn't always work.
So you're like, 5 minutes with lipstick and then 5 minutes without lipstick. And people go, oh, is she a witch or something?
Won't be far wrong in this group.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We can do with another witch, can't we?
Yeah. We're amongst friends. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all safe.
Yeah, exactly.
So how are you?
Good.
Too bad. How are you both?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
I'm looking forward to this evening and what I learn.
Have you heard about soul contracting before, Rosemary? I can't remember if you saw Val's first one.
I don't think I did.
No.
It was in January last year, so that it's been a while.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's different. I'm not going to go through all the numbers like I did last time because I thought, after the talk, I can always, because I've put the recording of the first talk on my website. So
okay.
I can always send people to the website to
check
the recording of the first one, and then I'll probably stick this one as well.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say something. How do you want me to introduce you? Do you want me to just say that you? What do you call a soul contractor? Are you a practitioner?
So it's soul contract practitioner or soul contract reader.
What do you call yourself?
Soul contract practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah, and divine healing practitioner.
You do divine healing and Mahani, don't you?
Yep, and Reiki.
And Reiki. Okay, divine healing, Mahani. Reiki.
Yep.
Okay. So
and I will
in that way.
Yeah, perfect. I'll soon complete another training which is linked to soul contract, but it expands the readings to tarot, astrology, and human design. So it combines everything in one.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that must be a big training to go through all that.
So it is and it's not, because it just gives us the pointers, like the basics of everything, so that we have a better understanding of the person we're dealing with as a client. So it gives a different overview, different aspects on everything, because I already know the tarot cards to each number, for example.
Do you?
Yeah, but I'm not a tarot reader. I don't know tarot that well.
No,
so to me it doesn't mean much.
No.
So I will learn then, and same for human design. It will be the basics.
Yeah, I know a bit about human design, but not.
Yeah, I know about my chart and what
I know the classic, manifestor, generator, projector, reflector, but I don't know loads. But I find it fascinating.
Yeah, it is interesting, but I don't think I would go on to studying this. It's a bit long. I've already spent God knows how many days and hours, studying this, and like, do I really want to, face another?
And it just goes on and on. I mean, that's the thing, is you have to decide, what rabbit holes you want to go down, basically.
Yeah, no, exactly. Can I check quickly if I can share my screen properly?
Of course, go ahead. Yeah, have you given Val?
No, not yet.
John, your co-host.
Oh, can I have co-host as well? Rosemary, please. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, share my screen. Share. Where's the presentation? Oops. There we go. All right. So let me check. because that will of course go on to. So can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's working.
Perfect.
Okay,
Good.
stop share.
Give me a second, I'll shut the door. Just
Okay.
I might do that because I know that the cats are going to come every time.
Yeah, they love. Well, they just love the energy, don't they?
Yeah. Every time it's just, and then there's one here, and then there's the other one, and then. But you know, if you're talking about something, it's nice not to be disturbed. So I'll probably close the door.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, probably best not to.
Yeah.
and we won't have distractions of cats and dogs in my place.
Oh right. So you are in your place because you're in a different room.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm back.
that's good. That's good. In your own place.
Oh, it is very good.
Did you get your teeth sorted out?
That's a long story.
Oh.
Friend brother's going to do it, but he said the gum has to heal.
Oh.
Is that even a good idea? What I've just done, or is it a bit pointless?
What's
So
that?
I'm getting there.
Oh. I hope you get it sorted.
Oh no, it's going to be sorted. I'm not worried about it, but I just want it done right.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, dear.
But
So
it's too far to go to the dentist to Spain.
yeah,
Little too far.
yeah, that's true. So are you all ready to go, Val? Is everything okay? You're happy with everything?
Yeah, I've got the the software open for, you know, when I'll do the live thing.
Mm.
You know what? I've never done a live thing, so
Mm.
I mean, I've done a
So-
live reading, you know, like for
Yeah.
someone, but not during a talk. So I just need to mention probably at the beginning that I can only do a name if it's like English,
Okay.
because if it's a different accent or a foreign name, then it's phonetics, and it can take up to half an hour to work out a phonetic name.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, because I need to use
Then I'm out.
phonetic dictionaries. I could. How do you even pronounce your name, Rosemary?
O'Shaughnessy.
O'Shaughnessy.
That's how you say it here.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that different. That probably work. Actually, we have
In
10
England,
minutes.
you say O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, I
You
do.
say
Yeah.
O'Shaughnessy.
That's what I say.
O'Shaughnessy, and you said O'Shaughnessy.
Mm.
So you would pronounce the g. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that'd be different. Yeah.
Yeah, our Irish is pronounced quite differently.
Yeah. I mean, I could always give you an overview, you know.
I know, don't worry about me.
But
HubSpot thought it was a Japanese name today.
pardon?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came up. I was using a tool called HubSpot, and it came up that it was a Japanese name.
Doesn't sound at all Japanese to me.
No. How are you keeping, Karen?
Well, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
Is it your birth name, Rosemary?
No.
What's your birth name?
Walsh.
Walsh.
WALSH, yeah.
Oh, very similar
Well, it's
to.
the same as
Do you-
yours.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Do you have a middle name?
Anne.
Anne. Is it ANN?
Just ANN.
Yeah. Walsh. WALSH.
Yeah.
Oh, that would work. Birth name. Because that's very similar. Birth name. Rosemary. Can I ask your birth date?
27th of April.
Yeah.
463.
Same year as me, Rosemary.
63.
I know it's getting harder in these forms to find
My-
our year.
My best friend was born on the 27th of April, 73.
Ah,
I've got
24th of April. So does that make you a
Taurus.
Aries or Taurus? Oh, yeah,
It's
Taurus,
Taurus.
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Consent date 23rd of May 2022. Normal chart. I should probably share this with you.
So you were up bright and breezy today, Karen.
I'm always up early. I was up at 5 o'clock.
So what do we have?
Oh,
5-5. Were you head in the cloud when you were little, finding it hard to focus?
Maybe, yeah.
So you have 10-1 and 9-9. So 10-1 connected to spirit. There's a lot of strength. Because it's in a talent, you probably did not abuse too much your spiritual powers in previous incarnations, but there's always a risk with the 10-1. The 9-9
Yeah.
has a lot of power. So once you want to achieve something, you can succeed. There's a lot of power in there, but in order for you to really fully embrace your power, you need to be disempowered initially. And it could be at school, family not supporting you, sometimes bullying, being a bit, other kids being rough with you. The 7 usually is very good at hiding who they are. There's a mask, there's a facade, and then there's the reality behind, but they don't want to let people in, so they just put a mask, like they build a wall so that people don't see them. But once they're in the positive aspect of the number, then they are people magnet. People are attracted to them, and they're very good at networking and connecting with people. The 19-1 means that you're here to create a group or a center related to something spiritual.
mhm.
And soul destiny means the 12-3. It's so the 12-3 probably have a thirst of knowledge, thirst of knowing things and learning new things all the time.
Oh yeah, I love learning.
Right, like reading books, like you probably have a couple of books on the go all the time. There's not enough hours in the day to squeeze everything that you want to squeeze in. And soul destiny, when you have a 12-3 in soul destiny, usually meant to be sharing all the knowledge as a teacher.
Yeah, I love teaching.
Rosemary does that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I really love it.
So teaching everything that you've gathered, everything that you've learned, because you could also write a book, because the 5, the key word of the 5 is speech and truth. So speaking your truth. So people with 5 in their chart usually end up being public speakers or write books in order to have their truth shared with the world. And the key with the 12-3 in soul destiny is trying to find the balance between the physical and the spiritual, because it's really hard for the 12-3 to find the balance in life and make sure they don't get obsessed with something too much, because then the other side of their life will suffer. Yeah, roughly that's what we get.
No, interesting, because balance I'm very conscious of, in life.
Yeah.
And the kind of being able to hide, that's interesting. Because my mom was very sick when I was a child, so I had to defend myself.
Okay.
My emotions at times. So
yeah,
I learned how I could disguise, not hide as in, but to protect myself, not be in a vulnerable situation when I was very young.
So you had to pretend to be someone else for a while in order to protect yourself.
Yeah, because other children were going through the same thing. This all started when I was 3, so.
Okay, gosh,
So
that's a young age.
Yeah. And when you're young and confused, you learn different ways to protect yourself.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, the 10-1, you have a lot of spiritual power. 10-1 is Archangel Michael energy, so you're protected. But again, the lesson in the 10-1 is not to abuse your powers, because it's like you have a direct line to God, basically. You have a straight connection to God. You could misuse it, or you could not misuse it, but because, what time is it? No, we've got a few minutes still. Because you have 10-1 as a talent, it will support the 9-9 not to feel too disempowered, and it will help the 5, because the 5 is also a very spiritual number, which is why people with 5 tend to be sometimes head in the cloud, because, and they need to grow, they need to learn a lot of things, they need to grow. It's like, the 5 is like a fetus or a swan that needs to become the finished, person that they're meant to be. So with the help of the 10, because the 10 has a lot of strength, the 10 is able to help the 5. The 10 is not as strong as the 9, like it doesn't have as much power, but it's not far off. So it can support the 9 into not feeling too disempowered and not having people abusing you.
Yeah, no, interesting.
That's really interesting. I love this stuff.
Yeah, I do as well. Karen knows.
Yeah.
Any opportunity.
So whether you get picked or not tonight, Rosemary, you've had your mini reading.
No, I don't expect that. I didn't expect it. So thank you very much. Added bonus.
What I'm
will I let Faye in?
If you want to come out of your slides for a moment, Val, and then we'll let people in, and then we'll go back in. Okay. Yeah, we'll start letting people in then. So we'll do the usual format. You do your little talk and we'll do questions at the end. Yeah. But you'll do your readings and all that, and then we'll do.
Yeah. And if people have questions, then.
Yeah.
But I'll probably ask people if they have questions, and I'm happy for them to ask questions.
Yeah, it's up to you. You do it the way you want it. But always at the end there'll be questions.
I might keep them at the end then, maybe, if people can write them down.
Yeah.
For the name in the hat, I was thinking about writing the names of the people who want, and I'll just, close my eyes and just someone say stop, and we pick someone.
Well, leave me out because I've had a reading, so
I think everyone who's had a reading, like Faye. I mean, Faye also does soul contract reading, so there's no point. It's more beneficial if the person has never had one or never heard of it.
Yeah. Okay, let's start letting people in then. Yeah, so we've got let Faye in, Julia. Hello. Hi, Julia. Hi, Faye. Faye, you're in darkness.
You're black.
Cannot see your face. Might not even be Faye. I'm not convinced.
Oh, now you can hear me. I was saying it's an alien invasion. I look like Blue.
I can hear it's you.
Yeah, it's about.
Hey. Hi, Jill. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
Hiya.
How's everyone doing?
Yeah, very good. How are you? It's been ages since I've been on.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Excited with soul contracts. Interesting. All good stuff. We'll give it a few minutes, see if anyone else is coming along. A few people have asked for recordings who thought they could make it and then couldn't. So Rosemary's amazing with the recordings.
Thank you.
She's really good, honestly. Oh, that's your friend Faye, I think, Harry.
Yeah, Harry's here.
Hi, Harry.
Hello, ladies. All right there, Harry.
Aaron, could I ask a quick question?
You can.
How's Suzanne? Is she, I mean, I've got the impression that she's had some medical procedure. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's just healing. It's going to take a while, so she's in that process. So
Okay.
she'll be back, but you know, we just figured we'd take this over for a bit.
That's
Thanks
lovely.
for asking. It's nice of you to ask.
Yeah, worried about her.
Yeah. That's her. She's all right. She's doing all right.
Thank you.
Come in. Good evening, Kim from Australia.
Is it evening or is it morning? Yeah.
Morning where you are. Good evening.
It is
Kim.
5 a.m. It's very
5
brutal. It's very dark outside. It's great to be here, though.
Thanks for coming.
So good morning.
Yeah.
Nice to see you all.
You too. Hi, Nicoletta. You all right?
All good, thank you. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, we are too. Okay, so give it a couple more minutes, then we'll make a start, I think.
So I said I was going to close the door and there's a cat. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries. Ah. How's
So how was everyone's week start?
Yeah, tired.
Yeah.
Jupiter in retrograde, just very sleepy.
Yeah, so it's
I'm
like
so
that.
glad you said that, Faye. I'm like, I've got my pajamas on.
I know. I'm like, is this a see-through t-shirt again? Like, great.
I usually have my pajamas on, but I thought I'll make an effort tonight because I'm talking.
I always have my pajamas on.
Yeah, same. I just literally crawled out of bed.
Yeah.
Coffee in hand.
Good.
Very good.
I literally go to bed after this.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I'm an early bird, so
Maybe we won't. Maybe
it's a late night on a Monday.
late night for me on a Monday.
just so rock and roll, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't handle late nights. One night I'm done.
We're very international today. We're Australia, Spain,
Yeah.
UK, Ireland.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
So we do a good mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good mix.
And I believe I can even come visit you guys now. Now
Yeah.
that the world's, yeah, well, although we got a new prime minister on the weekend, so that might change. They might lock us down again.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make a start then, and we can always let people in as they come. So most of you know Val, I think, because Val's a regular, and she also did a talk for us last January on soul contracts. So this goes a bit deeper. So Val obviously is a soul contract practitioner, but she also does divine healing, Rahani, and Reiki. And I'm going to pass straight over to Val. Take it away. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Right. So let me share my screen. We did a test before, so that should be fine. Mhm. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Good. I will make sure I can see you all. You're on the side. Perfect. So that if you have any questions, I can see you. Okay, so soul contract reading with me. My business is called Straight to the Truth, because I think that's kind of what you get when you do a soul contract reading. So that was the inspiration. So today we are going to speak about the origins, very quickly about soul contract readings. We are going to talk about the benefits of a birth name reading, the benefits of an overlay, which is a relationship reading, basically, the benefits of name optimization when your birth name is a little bit too tough and you would like to ease your life a little bit. Talk about baby naming as well. And then we'll take a turn to the more the business world, business readings for your businesses, recruitment readings, which are very similar to overlay relationship readings, but they're more focused on the workplace. And then anything else really that has a sound. So it can be the first line of your home address, the name of your pets to see, to know a bit more about their personality, number plate, especially if you have personalized number plate. I don't know if any of you have that, but sometimes they can be a bit tricky and not bring out the best possible outcome. So we'll discuss that tonight. So first of all, I think probably most of you know right now, it's a type of numerology. It's based on ancient Hebrew, and it's only been available since the 80s. It was channeled. The person who taught me is called Nicholas, and he was taught by Frank Alper. So we kind of, direct channeling from him. This type of numerology is based on 22 characters / letters / symbols, and they're from the ancient Hebrew alphabet. And a reading, when we do a birth reading, you'll see on the next slide, it comes on a Star of David, 6-pointed star. So in Hebrew, the symbols, the letters, the number, they're all the same. They hold the sound, they hold the vibration, and Aleph, which is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is also a number 1. It's also the letter A, and it's also the symbol that you can see. It looks a bit like a spring, really. So all of these things are just one, which is how we are able to translate names into numbers and symbols. So when your soul is about to incarnate, it will choose a soul contract. So it will go to the karmic board and say, I'll have a bit of this, I'll have a bit of that, and I'll take a little bit of that. And you sign a soul contract. Sometimes you think, did I really sign up for this? Well, the answer is yes, but there's always lessons to be learned. So that's why we incarnate on Earth, to keep on learning, to keep on growing, and to learn from the lessons, hopefully. So birth reading will reveal the map of your life, basically, if we put it, bluntly and simply. It will enable you to understand your natural talents and help you manage your challenges. So this is my birth chart. As you can see, my name looks really strange. I was not high on any type of drugs when I wrote this down. It's the phonetic aspect of my name, because I was born in France, so I just can't enter it as it is on the system. So that's the only issue. It's not really an issue, but it takes more time when your name is not from English origin, or if you have a name that's not pronounced the way it's written. In that case, we have to use phonetics. So my name is in phonetics, and you can see there's, like I said, before, there's 2 triangles, one going upwards, which is the spiritual one facing downwards, which is the physical one. And the sum of all of the numbers that you see equals the soul destiny. You can also see it in the table. So the sum of all of this equals this. You will find that some people have a dominant vibration, some people don't. A dominant vibration is just the fact that you have 3 or more or 4 or more of the same number in your chart. So I have 4 8s, which is why I have a dominant vibration of 8. So I'm going to explain to you briefly what I look at when I look at an overlay reading. I understand that it's a lot of numbers, and I hope you don't have a fit looking at all this, because it can be a bit intense sometimes. Sometimes the numbers and the symbols jump at you. It did that to me when I was training on this modality. So this is my family. So as you can see, all the names are in phonetics. So the first pattern that there is in my family is the pattern of the 8. So the 8 is ungrounded, can have unhealthy boundaries, find it really difficult to express their feelings. We tend to repress our feelings, but then once we're in a more positive aspect of the number, we're clairvoyant, like very clairvoyant, to the point that we can actually predict the future. And we have healthy boundaries, amongst other things. The second pattern in my family is the 12-3. So the 12-3 is great in a positive aspect, but it's all about expansion and communication and learning. However, the only problem that there is with the 12-3 is that we don't know when to stop, and this can lead to burnout sometimes. So it's okay in my case because I have it in a physical talent, but in my dad's case or in my brother's case, they have it in a more challenging place in their chart. So it's not as good, I could say. 11-2. So 11-2 is either very organized or very disorganized, depending on where they're at in their life. They can face challenges which are, there's 2 polarities with this number. There's the life to death polarity, or death to life, more likely. So possibly a lot of loss in their lives. And the 2 is foolishness to wisdom. So being fooled by people in order to learn all the lessons and be wiser at the end of it. So we have a lot of this in our family, especially my daughter. So that's going to be a joy, to raise her with all these. But it's okay. I'll soldier on. 9 as well. So 9 is the number that's the most powerful in this modality. It's a dragon, it's a serpent. So in order to fully embody the power of this number, usually people are very disempowered, bullied, abused in their lifetime, so that they learn the value of power and learn not to abuse power. And there's the 5. The 5 is all about the truth. And yeah, speaking the truth. And sometimes, as I was saying to Rosemary before, expressing yourself through public speaking or a book. So when I have a whole family to look at, I look at the patterns. So that gives me an idea. Then I'll look at the clashes. So you can see that my brother, my ex-husband and I, we clash with the 8. I clash with my dad, with my mum, with my brother on the 13-4, on the 4 level. And my ex-husband and my daughter clash on the 11-2. So that's also something to look at when we try to understand the interaction between people. The clashes are very important. Then we look at the locks as well. So some locks are beneficial, some are a bit tougher, and they're here to teach you a lesson. So the ones that I've highlighted in orange, they're the tougher one because they are the karmic locks. So basically, it's tough, but it's also great because this is the reason why my ex-husband and I met. We felt this attraction of the 8. His 8 was beneficial to my 8, which was in the karmic position. So this is the main reason why we met, even though it probably, with this and other numbers and other situations, led us to not be together anymore. But there was a lot of lessons to be learned in this relationship. The reason why my parents met is because My mom was helping my dad with his 11-2 in a karmic position. That's actually the opposite. My dad was helping my mom with her 11-2 in a karmic position. And my mom, her talent 6, was helping him be more focused, basically. And then both my parents supported me in my 5 in order to speak my truth. And I also help and support my brother with his 8 because I have it in a talent position and he's got it in a goal position, which is a bit more karmic, a bit more challenging. And then there's the talent resonances, which is also why people get together, get attracted to one another. So when you're part of the same family, it's usually someone you get on with well. When it's a partner, it's usually another type of attraction that you can feel. So my mother and my brother were really close in terms of the 6 in their chart. My daughter and my dad were, although they didn't get to know each other for a long time because he passed away when she was 4. My mom and my dad also had this connection. So they had, the luck connection, and they also have the talent connection, which is also good. And although I don't think they've recognized that yet, my ex-husband and my daughter, his daughter as well, have a connection, spiritual talent on the 9. I don't think, because she's probably too young for this, but and the 9 is so powerful that they're probably still at the stage where they literally headbutt each other. They're not in the full, talent aspect of this number, but that's because she's only 12. A name optimization is recommended. I mean, it's not mandatory, but I tend to offer it to people who have a tough birth name, tough energies, and if you want to, ease your experience a little bit and accelerate your growth and not be stuck in the same patterns, that's something that you can do. So in my case, I didn't find my optimized name. Someone else found it for me, because it's usually quite hard to do things for yourself. You just, your ego just blocks you. So the 7 is helping my 8 open up to my emotions and accept my emotions. The 13-4 is calming down for the 12-3. That could be, burning out and overdoing it. The 9 gives more power to the 4 and generates more abundance, and it can be abundance of love, abundance of money, abundance of everything. The 11-2 gives resilience to the 13-4 to get over the trauma. The way I experience spiritual karma 13-4 is through the loss of my mom. So the 11-2 gives me resilience in order to cope better with it. The 7 does the same to the 8, which heals the wounded heart of the 8 and enables me to feel and express my feelings better. And the 13-4 is also calming to the 14-5, because the 14-5 is a very reflective energy where basically I'm a bit like a Marmite type of person. You hate me or you love me. There's kind of no in between. And usually if you hate me, it's because I reflect to you things that you don't want to see. So I'm sorry, but that's usually why we meet up. Nothing personal, really. I really love people otherwise. A baby naming is very interesting because it gives the opportunity to someone to have possibly the best possible start in life. We tend to avoid karmic patterns. We avoid the clashes as well. I don't know if you remember, but the clashes that you can see on a karmic level and on a goal level, we avoid them altogether. So there's usually less friction in the family. And we make sure that if there's already siblings like other children in the family, we make sure that there's no clashes between the children and the parents, so that it creates more of a harmonious family. And basically people, I mean, I've named one baby and that was an excellent experience. And I've also had a reading where the person came to check with me whether she had given the right name to her baby, because her baby was born with a disability, like a physical disability. And right before the baby was born, they decided to change the name that they had picked initially. And then they thought, gosh, did we make a mistake? Did we pick the wrong name? Should we have picked the first name that we initially had in our mind? And so we looked at the current name, the birth name, we looked at the name that they had chosen, and actually it was a blessing that they chose the other name and not the initial name that they had in mind, because for two reasons. The name that they planned initially had so many difficult numbers in difficult part of the chart, in the karmic part of the chart. I'm not even sure if the child would have made it. So that was quite, intense. And also the name they had picked, the second name that they picked on the birth name, had all the energies that were being complemented by the rest of the family. So the siblings were bringing in the energy that this child needed. The parents, there was locks and there was talent resonances everywhere with the other two siblings and both parents, so that this child was actually supported by his family. So I've agreed with the lady to get back to her in about 6 months' time to see where the baby is. But sometimes you just need reassurance that you've picked the right name. Once you've picked a name already, you just need reassurance that you've picked the right name as well. Business reading might be of interest if you have your own business. So it's an extension of what I do with people, because a business is an extension of yourself, really, and it helps you as part of your healing journey. So I can help you create and register the optimal business name for you, and that's before you start trading. If, of course, you already have a business, I can check the numbers. I know I've done that with Karen, and we've checked and we're like, yeah, it's all good, all good. I think you just needed to change your email address or something, but that's all there was to it. And I look into the legal name, the trading name, the registered address, the web domain, the email address, the pricing. So it covers everything. And of course, the same is applicable if you have a business currently and you have issues like, it's not going where you want it to go, it needs a little push, and we can usually find the answers in the reading. So to give you a quick illustration of this, so again, I've put all my names, so they're all taken into consideration. So of course you can see my birth name phonetic, my common name phonetic French, my birth name in English, my common name in English, and my optimized name. So they all come into play. And what I've done with this business called Straight to the Truth is that the 8 that I have in a karmic position is being healed by the business. The 13-4 that I also have in a karmic position is being healed multiple times by the business. And the 7 that I also have in karmic positions on my charts. Oh, I've realized there's a 7 missing here. There's another one. Is also being taken care of, with my business. So it really is an extension of me, and it really is here to help me and support me in my healing journey as well. A recruitment reading, like I said before, it's very much an overlay reading, but more with the business mind attached to it. So making sure that the person that's working with you has, the natural attributes that you're looking for. It helps you understand the interactions as well with yourself and with your team, or with your boss, or, with people in the company you work with. Get the best out of a team member, and also helps you manage clashes that do happen in the workplace, because tends to be a very ego-centered work. And then everything else that has a sound, which is what I've said at the beginning. So we can check your home address, pet names, number plates, and anything else that you can think of that has a sound, really. So this is me talking about all this. I don't know if you have any questions.
I know Julia did. She had one in the chat. She said, please, can you remind us of how you work out your sole contract? I think there was a link last time.
There was a link last time. I can put it back. I can't see you anymore. Now I can see you. Yes. solecontractreader.com. I'll stick it in the chat. Where is the chat? Oh, here. Sorry.
You found it.
Yeah. So you can find, you can work out your chart. You have, I think if that's still the case, you can have 3 goes for free. So you can do 3 charts for free, and then you have to pay a membership in order to do it.
I've just linked onto it, and it looks like at the moment it looks like you pay for everything, unless I
it might have changed, yeah. Because I have a membership, I don't go to the standard page that, you know, when you first visit it.
Yeah,
I don't have access to this anymore.
so on me, when I look at it, there's a bronze plan, a silver plan, and a gold plan, and they all.
Harry says there's a free trial.
There's a trial there I can see on my page.
Yeah, I think
yes,
All for
I can
free,
see that.
the green one.
Trial
Yep,
plan.
yep.
Can I?
Yeah, and it says it's unlimited, so it's not like you're going to get charged by the looks of it.
What happens though? I can't click on it.
But you don't. There's not a sign up button at the bottom of the trial. If you scroll
No.
down on the.
I can't find it.
So with the green column at the bottom of the green column, there's a little button that says sign up in the green.
I wish I could share my screen and show you, but I don't have this screen at all.
I've got a green video with a question mark in it, but otherwise I've got a bronze in brown, a silver in silver.
Did you attend the first talk?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's probably because you use your trials then. Did you enter your?
Yes, I did, but I seem to have not got it anymore. I don't know where I might have put it.
If you want to send me your name and things at the end, I can put it in the machine for you and send you your sole contract numbers. I can, because I've got access to it, and I can send you it.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. If you just send me your name and date of birth, I can do that for you.
Thank you, Faye.
No worries.
Did you have any more questions, or
anyone got questions for Val?
So shall we go to the part where I pick someone?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Who would like to be included? So there's a quick birth reading, there's a pet reading, and there's, what did I say? A house name or house like address, first line of the address. So if you do, could you please put in the chat your birth names? And it's very important that it's your birth name. If you have a name that's non-English, I won't be able to work out the phonetics now. So I can give you a quick reading, but it might not be as accurate as your birth reading. Disclaimer.
It's interesting because when you did mine, I just had a triangle, didn't I? Do you remember?
Because you have a short name.
Really short name, because my mother never gave me a middle name. But interestingly, I always used to use one when I was a kid, and I used my mum's middle name. So I don't know if does that make a difference if you actually use a name? Does that make a difference to your?
Pardon?
Does that make a difference if you even if you weren't given that name, if I used that name,
Yeah,
does it make a difference?
yeah. You know, my name, Vahl Akmawash, I've not changed my passport or anything. I just use it. But the fact that I'm using it with the intention of this being the energy that's, you know, coming out of it, then it's the intention counts just as much as, you know, what's on the paper.
That's a question I was going to ask, because I was just wondering whether that just really changed the vibration and the dynamic, and whether you'd notice the changes in your work. And
so I've noticed the changes when I change my name. First of all, you tend to experience the karmic aspect of the numbers. So it's like, oh, really? But not for long, for about 2-3 weeks. And then you get used to the new name and the new vibrations and everything. And also, yes, the business also had an impact on me as well. So yes, I've definitely felt it. All right, so let me have a look at the chat. So we have Gillian, who said, I'm just literally going to pick a name. We have Gillian. Harry, if you've done, yeah, because you've done one before, Harry.
I hate my birth name.
Pardon?
Don't call me Gillian, because I hate my birth name.
Sorry, Jill.
It's okay.
I won't do it again. Harry, because you've had a reading before, I might not pick you. Sorry. Nicoletta, how would you? This is a.
Sorry, I forgot my birth name. It was Nicoletta Cristea Mattei. Totally forgotten about that.
Okay, could you write it down, please?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Caroline. Oh yeah, Kim. I know. Yeah, you've had one before, so I might not pick you for the birth name, but maybe for the pet or other. Okay, so it's going to be Nicoletta, Gillian, or Caroline. Is that everyone? Can you confirm? Yeah. So Nicoletta, again, you know, it might, if it's you, it might not be the exact one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Thank you.
I'm going to put my finger on the names and I'm closing my eyes. So if someone could please say stop.
Stop.
Jill. Okay. So let me. You know what, I can share my screen when I do that, so that you'll see what I'm doing instead of. Share screen. Could you please let me know if you see my screen now?
Yeah, perfect.
Wonderful. All right. Cancel. Okay. Do you want to give me your birth date or your birth sign? Which one do you prefer? I can't hear you, Jill.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't mind. I put it in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Date.
Oh, yeah, 12th of Feb.
Yeah.
Verbal or written, it could be both. Okay, today is the 23rd. Okay, so I've mentioned the 8 before, so that's a number we have in common, Jill. So the 8 in a karmic position tends to, well, there's a couple of things, obviously, and not all of them are going to be applicable to you, but very good at hiding behind a wall and, you know, not wanting to be really not really wanting to be on Earth, like finding the Earth a very heavy place, finding it difficult to have healthy boundaries with people, feeling difficult, feeling emotions or accepting emotions, especially if they're painful and difficult. It's like, nope, I'll put this on the side and I'll look at it and never, not even later. Can be messy. And then I'm speaking for myself because I was messy as a child, and I've learned to, tidy things up, and that's how I feel better, roughly that's it. Then in a positive aspect, very clairvoyant, very grounded, ungrounded initially, like head in the cloud as well, very finding it hard to focus. But then very grounded in a positive aspect, and really a really high vibration frequency. So still finding it hard to be on Earth, but you can try and cope with it by surrounding yourself with people who you can trust, basically. If I do some little annotations, your physical talent is 7-7. So 7-7, it's healing the heart, heal the wounded heart. So your talent is to basically be objective, be very good at taking decisions. That might not have been the case all the time, but the 7 is very good at taking decisions. The 7 is also a people magnet. So when you have this in a business name, it's very good because it attracts people, but the right type of people. They can be the heart and soul of the party. And they have a lot of objectivity because they can see the two sides of the story. If you look at the symbol, you can see everything. You can see both sides of a story. So that's a great asset. It's funny, I've got 4 in physical goal as well. So the 4 in physical goal is, the 4 is all about manifesting and embracing the flow of abundance. So it can be the abundance of love, of money, of everything, basically. But initially you feel you're unworthy of the abundance. You feel you're not good enough. So the abundance doesn't flow. And then it's the law of attraction. If you ask, you get. If you're willing to accept, you receive. The 4s are also very in tune with nature. So they're really like one of the tip to a 4 in a karmic position, and a goal is a little bit of a karmic position, is to garden and organic gardening, to be with the flow of nature. So that's quite important. I don't know if you can relate to any of the things that I've said so far, Jill.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty much spot on. With the one you've just been talking about, nature, not so much the garden, but my whole life is with animals. So that is nature in that aspect.
It is, and that's also another aspect of the 8. The 8, they tend to prefer to be surrounded by animals rather than people, because there is there's this unconditional love that you get from animals. There's no lying, there's no faking it. They just love you unconditionally, and this is what the 8 likes. So those 2 are linked. Yes. Okay. Then the 8 and 9. So 8 and 9 is a person. So basically, you look at the 18. The 18 has 2 choices. Follow spirit or not follow spirit. So it's your lesson to decide whether you want to follow spirit or not. The 9 has a lot of power. So again, probably feeling disempowered or being disempowered by people. It usually starts with either the parents or school or friends at school, who can be a bit nasty, or your parents are not really encouraging, you when you try things or you want to do things. But in a positive aspect, the 89s, they tend to be very good project managers because they can handle a lot of things, and they can handle, really good decisions. They can make good choices, usually. can see you're nodding, so I think we're.
Yeah, I did project management for the MOD. My contract was supposed to be 1 month, and I was there for 8 years.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's be
So
pretty good.
you've clearly cleared a lot of this karma, because it was a karmic aspect. So you're showing the positive aspect of it with this example. So that's great. Spiritual talent is the 6. So the 6 is very creative. Sometimes it's hidden initially, but very creative. And with anything, it can be painting, it can be dancing, it can be any type of art or music or anything. Very, very creative. The 6 is the Taurian energy, so can get angry sometimes, lose patience. And they lose patience usually because sometimes they find it hard to focus. Just like the 8, sometimes the 8 find it's hard to focus as well. So yeah, the 6 can get a little bit angry. It's the energy of the Taurus. So, kind of an explosive, stubborn, headstrong energy. And then the 7, we've discussed it. It's for you to gather people around you, probably as a project manager, into something maybe a bit more creative than being a project manager for the MOD. I don't know what you do right now. Your soul destiny is 5, which means that I'd probably recommend you write a book or 2, or do some sort of public speaking to share your life experiences. The 5 is all about speaking the truth. Speech. 5 is speech. And it's usually something the 5s do not want to do, public speaking and putting themselves out there and speaking their truth. But this is in your soul destiny, so you're really here to share your experience through public speaking or a book or 2 or 3 or 4. There's no limits.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I've had a quick look at your website, and I'll be in contact with you.
Okay.
Because I'd like to probably go further into mine and with a partner,
Sure.
relationship. Yeah, and
Definitely.
my family. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and we can also look at, because you call yourself Jill, that gives you another chart.
Yeah.
I'm sure you.
I changed my name by default.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And then I changed everything officially. So yeah.
Good. Okay, so that's another overlay that we can look into. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Very interesting.
Who would like to have a go for a pet, maybe? I'm looking at you. Sorry, you're on the other screen, so I'm looking sideways. I know I probably shouldn't be doing that, but anybody's got a pet that they would like to?
I would.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What's the name of
Ash.
Ash? So let's do a quick shot.
Ash.
Like this?
No. ASH. Yeah.
Ash.
Yeah.
Okay. Symbols.
Is it a different chart for animals, Val?
No, it's too short or contains invalid character. Why does it say it's too short? Ash, because it only has 2 sounds and it needs 3 minimum.
Oh.
And it's not the short name. Or
No.
let me try and see if I can get this. No.
Maybe it's not meant to be.
I'd probably do it manually, because it's only gonna have 3 letter. Here, 1. A is a 1. S is a 15, 6. And H. H never come on its own, it's CH. Oh no, there's SH. Oh, I understand. It's 1 and 21. So there's only 2 numbers with ash. No, so the 2 numbers that I can give you, the 2 numbers that comes with ash. So the first one is 1, which is, of course, the number that I had in the presentation, which is Aleph, the first letter. So it's the number 1 is all about unity and stability. So it's a very spiritual number. I would say it also comes with integrity. So for a pet, it might not, mean much. 21 is 21-3. So 21-3 is endurance. So I don't know. I mean, is it what pet is it? A dog? You said
cat. It's cat.
Cat. Okay. When I say endurance, does it mean anything to you or not really?
No, not really.
Okay, because an endurance, it could be, because the 21-3 in a people's chart, it's relating to doing things the hardest possible way sometimes, or thriving in difficult situations and difficult. So that doesn't really work out.
Really, not really.
Okay. This one doesn't quite work. Not enough sounds or letters.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you.
With pets, Val, do you ever add like a surname of the?
We can.
owner?
We can add.
That would work.
Do you have a family name?
It's Mihailo. Let me write it down.
Is it this one? The one that you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do a quick chart because I don't want to say that. I asked consent to the dog. So the 1 appears again. Is the cat healthy?
Well, I hope so. Well, I hope so. The only thing is that I think he's quite angry now and then, and I don't know why. He bites if he's hungry. So I think he's very spoiled. But yeah, he bites if he's angry or if you're going too much into his space. He's not a very friendly cat.
Okay, so that would be the 6 here. So let me do a quick annotation. So the 6 is the thing. So it's this Taurian energy, very stubborn and can be aggressive. Like, when you get literally the 6, when the 6 gets angry, it's literally from 0 to crazy in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no going back.
Yeah.
I was asking for the health because there's the polarity. There's a polarity with the 11-2, which can sometimes trigger again some sometimes difficult patterns with people and animal. But if we look at it,
so he's had a couple of years back. He's had some episodes when I looked into it, and apparently it was leading to dementia when they actually bite their own tail. And I think it was due to the toxicity in food. So I've changed his diet. He's on a raw meat diet at the minute.
Okay.
And he's been fine for 2-3 years. And I think at the minute outside in the garden, something like they're little, not even bees, I don't know, insects, and if he's bitten or something, he starts to scratch, and it's the same feeling, trying to kind of bite his own tail. And I don't know if it's
okay. So there's also an aspect of the foolishness to wisdom that we discussed before. It's probably being foolish, like trying to eat the insect or bite his tail. It's type of going around in circle and just being foolish and not understanding that he has to change the pattern in order to stop doing it. The 7, sometimes, as we said before, sometimes they hide so much who they are that they don't know who they are, and they can go a little bit, I shouldn't say it, but cray.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he's going around in circle. So that's what I can see based on what you're telling me.
Great, thank you.
But is here to give a lot of love, because 13-4 is a very nurturing and loving energy. So I'm sure when he's not trying to bite you, he's very loving, but
No,
you never know what to
has his
expect.
moment, but he's a very weird in a nice way, because he loves anything to do with energy. Like, he can sleep in the pyramid for nights. Every night he can be there, like he's waiting for me to move away, or he's trying to come around just to get rid of me, just to sit in there, or whatever the energy is, he'll go for it. So in that way, he's very wise, I believe.
Connected.
Since he was very young.
So that's the 1 and the 5, very spiritual and very connected. So he's probably aware of a lot of things around him and very receptive to energy.
Great. Thank you.
That's okay.
Interesting.
Thank you, Val.
Should we have an address? I mean, do you want to record someone's address? I'm not sure, you might want or not want to record. I mean, it's not going to be the full postcode and everything. It's just going to be the first line of the address.
Myself? Sorry.
No, anyone, like
anyone.
someone else. Yeah.
Someone else. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else want to do that?
If nobody else goes, I don't mind. But if anyone else wants to do it first, that's fine. But I don't mind if you want to use mine, the new one.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah.
But only if everyone else has had a go.
Yeah. I realize it's quite a public thing, so I can understand that you don't want to have it published. Shall I go for it then?
Yeah, do it.
So it's
61.
So again, I need to use phonetics. So I know how to spell 1, the number 1, but I need to go phonetic. I'm not going crazy. 61.
Tarnock.
Spell it.
Tarnock.
Yeah.
Avenue.
And it's business. So it's going to be a short chart. So we have, of course, for you. So we have the 10-1 twice in foundation and success. So it's Archangel Michael energy, so very protective, very, very protective. A lot of integrity, stability, unity. So again, a really good number. And you have a 10-1 in your birth chart. So it's like, again, this house is healing you when you move in there. And the 11-2, you don't have 11-2 in your chart, I think, even your optimized name. 11-2 is structure and resilience, basically. So more, organization, structure, and emotional resilience to be able to face everything that life is throwing at you, basically. So always a bonus.
Thank you.
Thank you, Val. That's really interesting. Anyone got any questions?
I'll stop sharing my screen, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, Jill got a question, I think.
I don't know whether you were joking when you said you give permission to the cat to do the chart. Do you have to get permission from everybody that you want to include in the chart?
So I would ask permission if we were talking about work colleagues. I would need their consent. When it comes to checking your family, your parents, your siblings, your partners, your children, because it's for, in a way, the highest good and for you to understand the dynamics, no, I will only ask you for your consent. And anything and everything we discuss during a reading, a personal reading, stays, behind closed doors and, between the four walls. So you don't need the consent of these people. You just need to make sure that you have their birth names.
Okay, thank you.
As written on their birth certificate. And I know that for some countries, the last name will be first on the birth certificate, and then the middle name will come. And in different countries, different traditions. So it's very important to get it right in the right order.
I have a question.
Can we have, sorry, quick.
No, go ahead.
Can we have your website again, please?
I'll put it in the chat on Telegram. Yes.
Sorry, Harry.
Yeah.
Actually, I have two questions.
Okay.
But for the first one, you just did like the address, and you only got the triangle facing upwards.
Yes.
Is that
It's normal. It's on purpose. So anything that's related to a business, basically, if I look at a number plate, if I look at an address, if I look at a business, I will only have the one triangle, the upper facing triangle. I think you froze, Harry.
Oh yeah, I think he has.
Not sure if he's still here or not.
No, I don't know. So interestingly, with a number plate, because I've got a personalised number plate, and that's got me thinking now. Thinking, am I driving around in a car that isn't doing me any favours?
I think you would have known by now. How long have you had it?
Oh, I've had the personalised number plate for about 8 years.
Okay, and you've not crashed?
No.
There's only certain numbers that you really don't want on a number plate because they're just too intense.
How many numbers then?
No, but then that's how. So basically, how you would say your number plate. So if I say my number plate, it's BG blah, 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 so I would need to put the phonetic BG.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not just the numbers as they're written on the number plate. It's like the number plate, the way you say it is the full sentence.
Okay, that's interesting because I never thought about that. All the other things you said, I thought, oh yeah, I know those. And then you said number plate. I thought, oh, number plate. Never thought of that at all.
But if you've not crashed with it, I mean, I can always have a look at it. But if you've not crashed with it or had, intense bouts of, road rage.
No, I've had it on two cars, and that's been okay.
Okay, so that should be fine.
Yeah, if I'd have known that, I'd have checked it before I got it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyone else got any questions for Val? Anything to do with soul contracts?
No, but Val, can you just put your website in the chat?
Yes, I will.
Thanks.
Yeah,
of course. Because the last time I did a chat, like a talk, I hadn't found my business name yet, and I didn't have a website. So
yeah, that's right.
It took its time, but
yeah,
again, when the ego gets involved, it's just not happening. And then, I had this light bulb moment, So
yeah.
Initially, it was straight to the point because I'm very much straight to the point. There's no beating around the bush with me, mostly. And then I checked, straight to the truth, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect for my birth name. And it makes sense because that's kind of what you get with a soul contract.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I love it. And what I've found, because I've had my astrological chart, I've had numerology, I've had human design, and the soul contract, is they all, because they're interconnected, like you were saying earlier, they all say the same sort of thing, but in different ways. And it's
it tackles different angles of, your life path and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It sort of backs it all up, and you go, oh, okay, yeah, that backs that up then. But yeah, it's all fascinating. I love soul contracts are brilliant. And so often I now say what you said earlier is, I didn't read the small print when I came, did I?
Why did I sign this contract? Seriously.
Why did I sign it?
Did I agree to this? Really? Yes, I did. Gosh. All right, soldier on. Healing, plenty of healing.
It's so funny as well when you start looking at like your partners, isn't it? and like the people you're attracted to, and you're like, wow, I'm a masochist. I keep attracting this one personality over and over.
Yeah, the same person.
Yeah, different name, different person, but the same energy, the same challenges, and you're like, okay, car crash.
Yeah, definitely. I guess the good thing is if you can do your soul contract in each partner, you can sort of cut that off at the beginning. You can go, well, same person, that's it. Done.
Yes and no, because again, it's not an exact science, and if they have transmuted a lot of their karmic energies, and it's fine because they're in the positive aspect of their chart.
Yeah.
So one should never dismiss someone just based on their number, and there will always, and some successful couples have absolutely no goal locks, no connection. There is not two numbers, and they've been together 15, 20 years and no problem. So it doesn't explain everything, and it's not a done deal that it's going to be, if the numbers work, it's a done deal, it's going to work, we're going to live happily ever after. It's work. Every relationship is work, and whether it's a love interest or whether it's a friend, a sibling, with anyone and everyone. So always check where they're at on their path.
I guess though, if you've had a pattern of partners and another one comes up, it's sort of a bit of a red flag.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to look for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully this person's transmuted.
Check the signs.
Yeah, check the signs, definitely. Before you get in too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating because I think when I did my chart, we did my name and my business and all of that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And you changed your name as well before you got married.
I had two. So I was married before. And you said that the current, it sounds like I'm going to get rid of him, but you know what I mean? the now married name is definitely better than the maiden name. That was pretty disastrous, I think. And the first married name wasn't that successful either.
Not that great, no.
No.
So I mean, sometimes you see like a good birth name and a okay common name, and then you see the married name and you're like, oh my God. Not good. And then you just say to the person, so did you experience a lot of hardship in your marriage? And they're like, oh yeah. Like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've obviously learnt something. That's what I'm thinking. I must have learnt something.
Yeah. Well, there's always, there's learning and there's a lesson in everything.
Yeah.
And again, we chose this. We signed the contract.
I know.
Sorry, can I ask? So in this case, what you're doing, you're changing all your IDs, everything.
You can. So because I'm French, it's a lot more complicated in France, to do it. You have to go to court and in front of a judge and explain, why you're a bit of a hippie and want to change your name. But in England, it's a lot easier. You can change it by deed poll, and I think it costs 60 quid. And then you can change your passport, your bank account, everything.
Yeah, it is easy here because I changed my name by deed poll before I married my husband because I didn't want the old married name. So I changed it to deed poll to his name before we got married, just to get rid of the old one. So clearly that wasn't good. But yeah, it's relatively cheap and easy to do. But apparently I've heard that you don't legally, I get confused with law and legal, but you don't actually have to do that here anyway. You can just call yourself something and that's enough.
Lawfully and legally.
Yeah. Common law type thing is you can just change your name here.
Yeah.
But banks and things like that ask for documents.
Yes, they need a proof.
Yeah, which is a bit odd.
So that's why a deed poll is probably advisable if you can do it and if you want to change your name.
Yeah.
Not necessarily odd though, Karen, if you think that it's the government that's put that rule in place, because I work in a bank. It's all government. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So that's down a whole other rabbit hole.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay. Anyone got any more questions for Val?
Yes. Could I ask a question?
Of course, Marianne.
Hi. I had my birth charts read only a few months ago, actually. And I've had a bit of a crazy ride in this world. I've got loads and loads of double numbers, basically. My birth chart's all double numbers.
So what do you mean by double numbers? Because we probably don't mean, so it's like 8855, 22.
So basically, my whole chart is like that, and I have a 99 as physical karma as well. So it's pretty crazy. But then I had my business name looked at as well, and it was basically a replica of my name in double numbers, apart from 2 of them. So it was a real coincidence as well. So I just wanted to know, in general, is there a significance when you have lots of double numbers? Does it kind of...
It means that your soul really wants you to experience the vibration and the energy of these numbers. It's like you can't escape it. It's just here for you to feel it and to transmute it.
Yeah. So in that kind of scenario, you wouldn't even suggest, or it wouldn't be something you would even want to do, is kind of like change your name because it's so kind of dominant and tangible that you should be kind of going through this particular process?
It depends. I mean, it depends what numbers and where they are. So I would need to look at the chart because some numbers in karmic positions are really, really tough. So you really want them to be eased with another name. And again, it's only to make it easier for you, more bearable, and to help your ascension. Basically, so that it's not a quick fix. You're not. It's not going to be a magic. Magic wand type of thing, but it can ease it. But again, it depends which numbers are where and what difficulties you're still experiencing in your life.
I think I'm past most of it already, but I'm just more curious because it's been quite tangible, sort of my experiences as well. But also the more you get to know yourself, the more you kind of see the patterns, etc. And you see obviously your soul chart and you go, oh wow, that's why I can kind of see it playing out a bit more. So I'm a bit curious. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Marianne. Right, anyone else got any questions? No, we all done?
It's a wrap.
Okay, thank you
very
so much.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
thank you for your attention.
Thank you for coming along and explaining more about soul contracts. It's always fascinating.
Good.
Really appreciate it. And don't forget, this week is your time to promote whatever you have on the group. So, obviously your website, but anything you've got going on, any offers you have going on.
I'll get a little promo code going on the website for the people of this group.
Okay, fab.
I'll share it.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you. And again, just to say, Suzanne will be back with us at some point. And meanwhile, I'm ably assisted by Rosemary, who is my technical whiz. Thank you, Rosemary, again for supporting.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And we should be back in a couple of weeks. I still need to finalise what we're doing in 2 weeks. But thank everyone for coming, and hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Val.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
I can't leave.
So very silent.
You're going yourself too much, Caroline.
I'm going. Bye, guys. Lovely.
Caroline.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. That's brilliant. Really, really
Thank
good.
you. It was very interesting.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. I could talk about it for ages, but I try not to.
And I love learning and listening.
That's good.
So
Good.
really interesting. I might try that free thing because I think I only did one. I might try the free thing to do my number plate.
No, but you'll need phonetic. You won't be able to do it. So let me do it now. Let me do it.
Okay.
Let's.
Now I've got it in my head. I'm like, oh,
I know.
number plate.
Okay, close. What is it?
KO.
Okay, so that's going to be KO. Let me check. I'm getting the phonetic right.
I imagine a yellow.
Hang on. K. Oh, yeah, I got it right.
Then it's 11. And KAZ.
Okay, so we've got 9, 12, 3, and 7, 7. As long as you don't have a 21, 3 and a 14, 5, I'm okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
The bad ones.
That's great. You're saying
They're not the bad ones. They're just, I mean, they're, as I was saying, I've got 2 14, 5 in my chart, so I know a thing or two about the intensity that it creates. You don't want that on the road. I'm also glad you don't have a 6 because the 6 is what would trigger the road rage, possibly. That would make you like a very aggressive driver. And the 21, 3 is the hardship. So hardship comes sometimes with, experiencing the worst, and making things the most difficult, possible way. So prone possibly to accident. So let's not do that.
Okay, so I'm all right. I can keep it.
You're okay. Keep it.
you're safe. Thank God, Karen.
Thank you.
And that's Karen Oliver. KO is
Karen Oliver. 11 was simply because I couldn't have 12. I would have had 12 because that's my birthday, but because the first car I put it on was an 11 plate.
Of course.
I couldn't put it past that. But
no.
Kaz, because that's my nickname.
Oh, so we can look at that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then look at Kaz.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine as well. 7 7 5 5 10 1. Good.
So I've got Archangel Michael looking after you.
Yes,
Right.
which is good. Good when you're on the road. Good protection.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we're safe if Karen's driving.
I don't get road rage. I don't get
because you would probably say KO11 Kaz, in your head. You'd probably say Kaz. And if I see that, I'd say Kaz.
Yeah.
Because I love to read number plates and try and imagine what the people are called in their car. So
yeah. The only thing I always think since having a personalized number plate is if someone gets annoyed behind you, they might remember who you are
and report you to the police.
Yeah.
Little daredevil, Karen.
But it's like you're more distinguishable because you've got that, whereas if you've got random numbers, nobody really pays much attention. But I mean, I'm not horrible on the road, so hopefully nobody.
That's one thing I've always thought, all these, rich men, having affairs, I'm thinking if they go somewhere with their car, of course it's going to be obvious it's them. I'm thinking,
yeah. Don't go in your own car. Basically.
Rent a car if you have an affair. Karen, if you have an affair, rent a car. I'm joking. Karen's husband is listening in the background.
It's all right, it's downstairs.
You're safe.
With the hamster.
Your secret is safe with us. There's no secret, Val.
No. There's so many things you can do with it. It's so interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
And it's funny. I should have mentioned it as well. There's a lot of families that have been in touch recently who it's probably what I would call conscious parenting, where they want to be able to understand their children and manage them as well as they can. because they're facing challenges with teenagers or with children that have been, diagnosed ADHD and etc. And they just need the support on how to manage them.
I think also there's an element of understanding your child as an empath, which I'm sure we probably all are. My soul contract put me in the middle of a family who didn't understand empaths. Now, if they'd have gone and, like you said, and
that.
They could have found out, oh, actually, it's because I used to get told, oh, turn the taps off, don't turn the tears on. And I genuinely used to think, oh, but this is how I am. I wasn't turning anything on. I just cried really easily.
Yeah, it just happened.
But it felt like a judgment, and like, oh, it's wrong. I shouldn't cry, because they had no idea. So why I signed that soul contract, I have no idea.
Well, because you've transmuted it. I mean, I remember when we did the reading, and you're like, oh, this, got that, yep. So, the life lessons, were beneficial.
Yeah. To be in a family that don't understand empaths. But I did get a book called, have you ever seen Judith Orloff's book? It's all about empaths.
No.
Really good book. And I can't remember what it's called, but if you look up Judith Orloff, you'll see it. And what she does, Judith Orloff, ORLOFF, I think.
American psychiatrist.
Yeah. So she has a book.
The Empath Survival Guide.
That's it. Yeah. And what it does is you open it up. So it has every day of the year in it. So either sort of the day you open it up and you read it, or you just open the book and it's relevant. But it's really good because you're not reading the whole book at once. You're just
picking
picking things. But she talks about herself and having been, like me, born to a family that didn't understand empaths and being told to, don't be silly and get on with it and stuff like that. And, look after these people, be an extrovert when really you didn't want to. So she learned.
Yes, so helpful. You're an introvert. Come on, go and be an extrovert.
Yeah,
thank you very much. That was really good advice.
Yeah, and you're just
helpful.
You're just being silly. I mean, that's the best advice ever, isn't it? So she learned to. I guess she transmuted it because she learned to make it a gift and set very good boundaries as an adult. And
probably has 8 in her chart then, because being an empath and finding it hard, setting boundaries is the 8.
Yeah, it's a really good book. I find it really useful, and I just open it up and I go, oh, if that's really useful today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant book. But
good.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, thank you for organizing tonight, ladies, as usual.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Spot on. Initially, I thought the presentation was going to be usual. I was like, oh my God, we're 25 minutes in and the presentation is finished. Never mind.
No. People
then we had more time for.
Yeah, more time to do that and for questions. And people are really interested. So that was good. We got some good questions, I think.
Yeah.
I need to ask Harry what his question was, because he only got to ask one.
He never came back.
No, I think he had internet problems.
Yeah. Does he live in Bristol?
He lives in Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah, I know his phase friend. I guess he must do.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him yesterday. We went to for a walk in Salisbury in a forest yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And it was nice. We were looking for a witch tree, which we never found. So we'll have to go back.
You got to go back and find it.
Yeah, we ask everyone.
Wow, so
we got lost in the woods.
So people know where it is, but it's just a case of finding it.
It's really hard to find because there's no sign on purpose.
Okay.
So there's, part of the thing is, the chase, getting there and finding it. We'll be back. But we had an amazing walk.
Yeah.
Did 20,000 steps.
Oh, wow.
I can't feel my legs today.
That's not far from Stonehenge either.
No, well, usually it's this forest is 10 minutes away from Stonehenge. So it could be a good, Stonehenge in the morning and then go and find this wonderful tree in the afternoon or something.
Yeah,
I'll go back.
yeah, definitely. You can't get close to Stonehenge anymore, can you? Only on certain days or something.
We did for the solstice.
Yeah.
And we could touch, but then we turned up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
who's going to stop you anyway? That's fine.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, no, actually they opened the gate and they had coaches, going straight, to the, because it's a 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
From the car park to the stones.
It is quite a way.
They had a bus, like they had a,
Yeah.
Going there.
Yeah.
And then we walked back and that was really nice.
Yeah.
So we did that. Yeah. That was a good experience. So yeah, for the equinox or the solstice, there's usually
that's when you can
something.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I shall have to revisit.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah.
I know whoever it was said it was the energy was a bit corrupted over there, but
that was Rory Duff.
Yeah. We didn't feel it. We went there literally 2 days after his talk and didn't find that it was weird. But then again, it's all the intention that you put in it. We were there with the intention of healing everything, and there were druids and everyone.
Yeah.
It was quite funny. So
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I shall have to go back. And I've never been to Glastonbury either.
It's good, but it's a bit far. I can do a day trip to Stonehenge because it's an hour 20, an hour and 10. Happy with that.
Yeah.
Glastonbury, we did it the other time, but a day trip is just too much.
A couple of hours, isn't it?
It's 2.5 hours from my house. So same for you. 5 hours in one day.
Yeah.
After walking around everywhere and the energy.
Yeah.
It's a bit too much. So you need to stay overnight.
Yeah.
Which
Have
I don't
nice
really.
Holiday.
Pardon?
Have a nice holiday.
Yeah.
That could be it could be a trip, like a holiday trip.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna let you be. Good
Yeah.
evening. Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome and look forward to catching up again.
And don't forget to put your details in the group,
Yes.
everything you want to put in there for the next week.
I'll probably put the little blurb that I put on the conscious networking thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, do it. Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, you take care.
Bye.
See you soon.
Take care. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, Karen, another one down. How's Suzanne?
Yeah, she had a bone scan today. So I think because the tumor was bigger than they thought, even though they've got rid of it all, they're now doing a lot of tests. So they did what do they call it? Not the MRI. What's the other one? CT scan.
Yeah.
Last week, I think that was. And they did a bone scan today. I think she's got other liver function things, and so I think they're doing a few tests. I think she's all right. I think she's a bit tense about it all because it's a bit limbo at the moment.
Yeah, I know, it's understandable.
She wanted like the all clear, and they basically said they feel like they didn't get enough of a margin, so possible further surgery. But they're doing all these tests anyway. But they also admitted that she had a really bad throat after the last operation.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, and they damaged, basically they did damage something. I mean, I think it's healed, but the point is it shouldn't have happened. So they're looking into that as well. So there's quite a bit going on. So I think she feels a bit in limbo at the moment, and she can't drive, so that's not easy either. So she's she has to get lifts and things. I mean, obviously her husband, if he's there, but for the appointment today, Louise took her. I think you've met Louise. She's been on here before, hasn't she? You met Louise? I don't know, you might not have done. Well, she gets called Lou. I always call her Louise, but she gets called Lou.
Yeah.
But she sort of owned the business when we had the clinic. She leased the building. So we've known her for, I don't know, probably about 17 years or something.
Yeah.
So she's a lovely person. So she took her today. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I will say to her, well, ask me if I can do it. I'll do it, you know, but a lot of the time I can't, but if I can, I do.
Yeah,
you know,
obviously, yeah.
I'll drop shopping in and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And give her a call and have a chat.
Yes, it's the practicalities.
Yeah, and I've done a couple of EFT sessions.
Yeah.
For her, to help her out. So yeah, you just do what you can, don't you?
Yeah, I know, baby steps, you know.
Yeah.
But all the practicalities, like as with my friends as well, like the son and the dog, the hyper dog.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize how lucky I was of my own dog.
Yeah, if I'm back and thought, oh, I've got such a wonderful dog.
Yeah. You know, like, because our dog can go, you can go, like, he traveled, you can go for a walk anywhere, you don't worry about other dogs. This dog would just want to fight any dog. So totally different world.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting, because going back to Rachel did the healing, the animal healing, she always says it's to do with the family. So, you know, there must be something there that why the dog's like that, you know.
Oh yeah, like the dog doesn't have a good routine, because our dog, 10 o'clock I go to bed. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But he has a routine. Now he needs it, he's elderly now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can see how it affects the dog as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. If you don't have a routine, well, the dog doesn't know where it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's probably acts up because it doesn't really have any boundaries, does it? I mean,
yeah.
I don't think people think about that with animals, but it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing. It's like we all, like, you know, if you don't have meal times at a certain time, routine, then there's certain foods agree with you and certain foods don't. Obviously, it's going to affect you mentally, physically, and every other way.
Yeah.
But it was all a learning curve. Computer games, I learned all about. I don't like them.
No, I don't either. They're not my thing. I mean,
no.
2 of my granddaughters play on them. Well, 3 of them actually. You know, sometimes they say, "Oh, you know, have a look at this," and I'm like, "Okay, well, that's really not my thing at all."
No, it's not mine. Like my nephew played them during COVID.
Okay.
My brother kind of felt, look, he sees other kids, or not sees, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You've monkeypox in the UK.
Oh, what a load of nonsense.
I only heard about it yesterday. And there's a trend that everything comes with the UK.
That's because our government make it up. That's why. I call it money pots, because they want more vaccines. They want to sell more vaccines.
21 days quarantine.
What a pile of nonsense.
I only saw headlines. I haven't read about it in any detail, but I said another one.
Exactly. I don't know how people don't see through this nonsense.
Yeah,
I really don't. I mean, if you look at all the illnesses that they've ever said were a problem, they always link them to animals.
Yeah,
you know, swine flu, avian flu, CJD,
bird
COVID,
flu. Or that's their birds.
AIDS. Who's ever heard of a green monkey? What a pile of nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. And they're also this one, they're going back to it's spread more by bisexual and homosexual men. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're back down that path again.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's like, what a pile of nonsense. It just, if it wasn't so tragic, I mean, it makes me laugh in some ways, but you're like, one of my friends who I meet at the stand in the park sent me a text. She said she heard 3 elderly women talking about it and saying, oh, I've had my 4th jab and you know, oh, I can't have mine yet, but I'll have it when I can, you know, and oh, now monkeypox is coming, and like, oh my God.
They'll have no immunity if they keep getting vaccinated every 3 seconds. And it really does happen.
I agree. And actually, I think that most of the problems that we have now are due to previous ones anyway. How many kids have allergies? How many kids have asthma?
Oh, I know. But it's also all the processed foods. We got a good run because our mothers cooked homemade food.
There's that too.
Where all these kids are being given processed food from day one. So they're not
numbers coming out their ear rolls.
Yeah, exactly. And then you wonder why nature reacts.
I know, it's crazy.
I know we're in a crazy time because I have a good friend who lives in Cyprus and she's moving. Because what happened was the Russians in Cyprus got a really good deal.
Right.
For years. Yeah. To go and live in, and then the Ukrainians are going to live in Cyprus. So she's in the middle of the two camps.
God.
And she recommended a nursery to somebody, and she got nearly eaten because I can't remember if it was a Russian or a Ukrainian, but the two aren't to meet. And she said, I do not want my son growing up in the middle of this.
No.
It's really, really tough. Like it's tough enough for her to leave.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And then of course the sanctions, she works for Russians and sanctions don't matter a damn.
No.
They've all made plan B.
Yeah.
You know,
it is absolutely, it is absolutely crazy. And I really can't see why people can't see this stuff.
Oh, like it's like when people are loggerheads against each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, do anyone any favors.
Well, war, the thing is, it's weird, isn't it? Because people think, oh, you need war, but war it's impossible to have war to bring peace. That's impossible.
No,
because it's the polar opposite. It will never bring
it's
peace.
Also like, not that we're going to have an argument, but say we had a disagreement about something, and you could calm down, you know, or both of us calm down, or there's that vacuum in the middle where you say, what's your point of view? Why is your point of view? And oh, that's why, and then you don't have a row. Where none of these people ask or find out what the other side is. Like everything that's going on about the Ukraine is people aren't saying what's the history behind all of this.
Well, exactly. There's a massive history.
Yeah, huge history.
And that's the thing, is that people who've jumped on the bandwagon and stuck Ukraine flags outside their house have not realised how long there's been warring going on in Ukraine, way before Russia got involved. They were bombing themselves. So, you know, I just think, well, firstly, I think none of us really know the whole truth. But secondly, don't trust the BBC or the government, because they're just telling you what they want you to hear.
It's all about money as well.
Of course, war makes loads of money.
Yeah,
it was so predictable after a pandemic to have a war. I mean,
oh yeah, and you know, every time something major like this war, then you know, you get building and all these things. It's like my dad was an engineer and he's in his 90s, but his first lot of students all went to Vietnam because there was a war. And they had to build the whole power stations and everything because obviously they went for the electricity system.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
It does. It just makes money. War is between two pen pushers. You know, it's never about normal people. It's two pen pushing politicians who decide, firstly, they want to make money, you know, and secondly, they don't give a monkeys about anybody. So they just start
people that suffer.
Yeah, it's ordinary people. It always is. You know, you get displaced and stuff like that, and it's we're just, you know, just pawns in their little game.
Yeah, sadly to say.
Yeah, yeah. But there you go.
That's life.
Yeah, not much we can do about that one, but
No, we're not going to solve that one, Karen.
no. Yeah, I just think we need ordinary people in governments, ordinary down-to-earth people who actually care about people, and the world would be a very different place.
Oh yeah.
None of the, I mean, I don't know what your government's like, but ours are a bunch of Oxford or Cambridge toffs who haven't got a clue.
Okay, ours is very different. Like if you look when Brexit started and who was ruling the UK, we had a gay Indian. He's half Indian, half Irish at the time.
Okay.
So our politics have been quite different. But on the other hand, there has been the old guard, which haven't moved with the times. And it's the same as the UK. There's a generation where there's no long-term contracts with jobs.
Right.
Housing is got very expensive.
Yeah.
So the two countries, you can say there's very, very similar problems for the youth.
Right.
And because of that, there's been a lot of protest votes and all kinds of things as a consequence of that. So, okay, we don't have quite the same history in the same way of the House of Lords and all that kind of thing. We're a much younger state as well.
Yeah.
Like we're only a bit over 100 years.
Yeah.
So obviously that makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no politicians. We've too many politicians for the size of the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. We've county councillors for small, but you'd be the same.
Oh.
Because our system part of our system came from your system.
Yeah.
Not all of it, some of it we were able to look at what you did and then try and improve the system because we did things later.
Yeah. Yeah. It needs throwing out. The whole system needs throwing out. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it needs to change in a lot of places. Massively.
Because it's the same old thing. They're career politicians. They don't give a stuff about anybody.
Yeah, and also the education system in a lot of places isn't geared towards the kind of jobs people need to go and do today.
If I had children in schools right now, I'd be wanting to take them out.
Yeah.
I think our schools are terrible, what they're teaching them. It's not relevant, none of it. I mean, the only things that are relevant are English and maths. The rest, I think, is a pile of rubbish.
Oh yeah.
We need to teach them practical things, proper cooking, how to budget, how to communicate with people, law, proper law, how to make things, how to grow food. They're the things we need to be teaching them.
Oh yeah, because they're all the things that are becoming a bigger and bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's the same in the UK. I was talking to friends and saying, I'm buying extra flour. And in fairness, I buy my food, as you know, online, and I can see some weeks they've taken a category off because they're having problem to get supplies.
Yeah.
And all these things, and you can see what things are imported.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the UK, we import quite similar things.
Yeah.
So the same types of food must be happening to you as well.
Yeah. And do you know, it's weird, isn't it? Because I think this is why we can see it, because it never made sense to me, even years ago, why we import so much. Because if you look,
crazy. Because what I noticed is the supermarket, online, bakery have been, bread and bakery were out of the site this week.
Yeah.
Now I bake.
Yeah.
No problem getting flour, no problem getting ingredients. But if you actually were to go and buy the stuff, I've noticed over the last 6 months, the supplies have gone down quite a lot.
Supplies have definitely gone down. And now, obviously, conveniently, they're blaming that on Ukraine and Russia, but that's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And I know in America they've been getting farmers to burn their grain, forcing them to, you know, do things like that. It's a forced famine. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, to push us into submission again. You know, it's not bad enough that the prices go up, then there's not enough. And I've noticed it in the supermarket. You know, I get mine online, but you still visit a supermarket, don't you? You know, and I look and I think quite a bit missing. You know, I don't think people notice.
Oh, most people haven't. Like my friend is buying an extra. If she buys flour, she buys 2.
Yeah.
To have it in stock.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing the same.
I've been doing that. I've got a whole wardrobe full of things like pasta and tin soup and stuff, just emergency stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because you've got to prep. So yeah, things like that will last for a long, long time. I mean, they're not the sort of things you want to live on forever, but if it's a choice between nothing and those, then, you know, that's what you're going to do. So yeah, I've prepped quite a bit, and we're now growing our own food as well. I mean, there's not enough to sustain us, but I have started growing our own food. I got my name down for an allotment, but allotments here are like gold dust. So you know, it's going to take time, and unfortunately, it means someone has to die usually for an allotment to come up. But we are on the list. We haven't got a big garden, so we've just got some in the garden. But you just got to do what you can, and I don't. I mean, the other thing we're doing is we're getting a wood burner put in.
Yeah.
Because I'm fed up with the gas hikes and all of that.
Oh yeah. We have a smart meter, which means from 12 to 7, our electricity is a lot cheaper. So I try and put the dishwasher, clothes washer, and if I'm baking, get up very early, like you, 5 in the morning, except that I'm baking.
just a bit of advice: if you've got a smart meter, you need some EMF shields, because they're bad news.
Oh, thank you. I will. Yeah.
So yeah, let me know if you need some.
Yeah,
I can always sell you some. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything.
No.
I'm just trying to look after you, because
do look after me.
I won't have a smart meter.
Yeah.
At all. Because of that, because they're bad news. They make out they're good, you know, in some ways, and I'm sure you can see what you're using, but the bad side of them, they emit a lot of EMF radiation.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, thanks for that.
They do.
No.
Yeah. They're not good. You can have them taken out.
Yeah.
You can actually pay someone to put a meter in for you.
Yeah.
But
it's outside. We did it years ago.
Yeah. No, it still affect you. It come through the walls.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. But like people who live in flats, what they do is they stick a load of meters, like say in the basement.
Yeah.
But it still affects the people who are living above it, and probably the people who are straight above it more than anybody. It goes. This is the thing with Wi-Fi; it goes through walls. So, you know, even if it's outside, it affects you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. EMF shields.
No, thank you. I will get back to you about that.
Anyway, I will leave you to it for the evening.
Yes.
And I'll get to
and you enjoy your evening. What is left?
Yes, I'll get back to you.
It's got dark here.
Yeah, it's got dark here too. I'll get back to you about the next one. It might be Kim, who's the Australian lady, because she does something called Protandem.
And you have to tell me what that's.
It's a product, and it basically, she signed me up last year, but I haven't done anything with it. Not because I don't think it's good, I just haven't had the time to put any effort into it really. But it's like it gets rid of all the antioxidants. It's a patented product, so no one else has it, and it gets rid of inflammation, because antioxidants cause a lot of inflammation, and we all know that disease and illness comes from inflammation. So it's a really good product, which I do want to get into, but I haven't as yet enough So
Yeah.
I spoke to her last week. So every now and again
Yeah.
we have a Zoom, and it's either early morning there and evening, but we managed to do it. And
Yeah.
she said about, we were talking about Protandem, and I said, yeah, maybe we'll get you on to talk about it.
No, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and we'll market it. That it's not a hard sell. It's just if anyone's interested, come along. If you're interested just to hear about it, you might know someone it might benefit. A lot of people know about Protandem to a degree. They may not have used it, but it is a good product, definitely. So so we might do that one next time.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
I will leave you to your evening. And thank you very much. And I'd be
no bother,
very grateful if you can put the cropped video in the group.
Yes, I'll do that.
As you do so wonderfully. I appreciate it.
No bother at all.
And we'll catch up again soon.
Catch up soon. You take care, Karen.
Take care. Bye, Rosemary.
All the best. Bye.
Bye, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.